Hello, Cancer, and welcome to your reading for the month of December. We're going to take a peek at the energy showing up. So, this is coming fresh off from that new moon in Scorpio, as well as the changing of the season, going from Scorpio season into Sagittarius season. We have a upcoming full moon in Gemini getting ready to take place. I feel like with so many retrograde planets, and then they're going to start to station and go direct, there is going to be some intensity with the energy for the next couple of weeks. I really honestly, in all honesty, feel like there's going to be waves of intensity all the way through till the month of April, where I feel that's when things will start to be more grounded, solid, and stable. So the first card coming out for you, Cancer, is the Eight of Cups. Yes, a lot of turbulent energy. Um, you can see with this card, with this Eight of Cups, you see Saturn showing up over here. Saturn right now is sitting in Pisces energy, and it's sitting really snuggled up to Neptune. So that's an entire energy, all of its own, that is quite intense. Talks about learning lessons. It is in the sign of Pisces. So this can be a discovery, hidden enemies, uh, areas of your life that are, it's time to close out, cycles, that sort of thing. With this energy, you even see the Pisces right there too. It's interesting, right? Saturn is in Pisces. So yeah, um, this is you moving forward. This is you releasing. I can feel you could, like, this could be a time of feeling really emotional as you're closing out some cycles, as you're discovering some hidden enemies, as you're turning your back on the past and moving forward. So, very strong, intense energy. I feel very emotional energy as well with all of this. So, let's keep going and see what energies are showing up. You have two that are showing up for the next one. Look, I cannot make this up. There's the Scorpio energy with the Death card. We just had this new moon in Scorpio. I feel like the energy I'm tapped into right now feels like it's in that transformation phase of really purging, cleansing, doing some deep soul searching, healing, closing out some cycles. And then you see after the Death card is this Seven of Wands energy. And this talks about somebody taking action. You got the Mars energy, you got Leo energy right here. They're taking action to rise above, have the strength, courage, and confidence to rise above the challenges, the obstacles, the things that have been put along their path or that have been in their way. It doesn't even have to be put there. It can be just things that are at this point, challenges to overcome, things to rise above. Boy, I had a real hard time straightening that. I'm going to be doing something with this differently. So, anyhow, let's keep moving forward. Yeah, this is rising above. This is standing your ground. This is defending yourself, standing up for yourself sort of energy showing up right now. This looks really like, and again, I feel intense energy. I feel emotional energy. I feel like it's kind of like, when you go from that energy of really being hurt, sad, emotional about a situation, and then that it's like you turn that pain into power, and then that fire is ignited and you're lit and you're ready to move forward. That's the energy I'm feeling. And front row and center is the Hermit card. So this talks about wisdom, knowledge, going within. This is some sort of enlightenment. This is seeing things differently. I feel older and wiser as whatever is discovered. Hermit card talks about discovery, right? So this is like discovering something. There's a light shed on that now. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups. So this does show this new beginning, this newness that's transpiring. Like, this transformation is going to bring about a fresh start. I feel like with healthier connections, relationships, emotions, that sort of thing. We're going to look at why this Knight of Wands is right there. Um, I feel that in two ways. I kind of feel like, the Knight of Wands is one of the fastest moving knights in the deck, other than the Knight of Swords. And with the Knight of Wands, this is about taking action, maybe quickly taking action, that sort of thing. Bottom of the deck is the Empress energy, right? So there's that Venus, there's the planet of love showing right up. It does rule not only your love, but your money. So I do feel there's going to be something that happens quickly, is how I'm feeling about this. I kind of feel when it's kind of bookmarking right there. To me, that's what this feels like, anyways, or how the vibe is showing up to me with this seven and that night. I feel like you're going, you may need to take quick action to defend yourself, stand up for yourself, rise above a situation, right? And I kind of feel part of doing that is leading you to walk away and turn your back on it and end out a cycle, complete a cycle out. I feel like there's knowledge and wisdom that you've gained. There's something you've discovered. And let's see. Wow, cannot make this stuff up, even if I wanted to. There it is, the World card. This is about closing out a cycle so you can go and have this fresh new start, this new beginning. It feels to me like whatever this is, like there's no unseeing it, there's no pretending you don't see it, there's none of that energy. It feels like being wise enough, having enough knowledge and insight to know that this is whatever this is that needs to go has to go. Like there's not no salvaging it, holding on to it. It's like closing it out. There's the strength card, Leo energy again. This is having the strength, courage, and confidence to do just that. This is really tapping in to your power. Like I said, I feel like something is going to go from, feeling very emotionally turbulent to that Saturn energy, having the structure and discipline to take action, to rise above this, to um, defend yourself, protect yourself, to close something out as well. So let me pull one more card. I don't know, I meant to grab the second deck, but I kept shuffling. So next card that comes out, yeah, the Ten of Swords. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Ten of Swords to the King of Wands. Absolutely. I feel like whatever this is, it feels like a painful ending in some way, shape, or form. I feel like that painful ending is a result of discovering something. And I feel like it's discovering a betrayal. Again, it feels like there is this emotional energy, turbulent energy that comes through. Like this could really put you up in your feelings for a second, but I do see the transformation of that energy, the transmuting that energy from pain into power and taking your power back, being the leader of your own life, standing up, having the strength, courage, and confidence. I feel to cut something off. I feel strongly about closing a cycle, like once and for all, is how I'm feeling. I don't know why like I kept shuffling the other deck. Now I just picked up the deck that I'm not even meant to use next. So you may feel I don't feel like it's a scattered energy, but kind of like it does feel like distorted energy for a second. I don't feel like it's anything really to be concerned about, but don't beat yourself up or come down hard on yourself or anything like that if when you're going through this transformation, when you're going through this process, right? It's almost like going to throw something in the washer and you throw it in the garbage, right? It kind of feels like you're just trying to put something in, but you just mess it or miss it up or something like that. I just feel like mistake it or just do it wrong, whatever it is. I feel the energy if you really need to take that hermit time to go within, to not tackle any responsibilities or anything like that, just to be, right? Just to go within, do some meditation, take the time to do that. Mercury is retrograde, so again, you could see where there could be energies that would show up like that. Like I said, like you go to throw something in the garbage, you throw it in the washer, you go to throw it in the washer and you throw it in the garbage. It's your mind's not aligned right, is how I'm feeling with that. And I feel like it's because of a shock factor. I feel like it's to do with some serious emotions that come up and through that. And I just feel a lot to do with your subconscious as well. We're seeing a lot of Pisces energy with Scorpio energy. There's a lot happening with the cosmos right now. So the first card that shows up to clarify is the Queen of Pentacles. So I do feel like this behind the scenes, you're really needing to ground yourself, to stabilize your energy, to, really process whatever this is. This feels extremely intense. We are seeing a lot of major arcana cards out here already, not to mention a lot of people with uh, the King of Wands, the Queen of Coins, the Knight of Wands. I am feeling there's a lot of energies that are involved with whatever this specific situation is. Bottom of the deck is the Page of Wands. I do feel that's the message, the news, the information that comes in. I feel like it brings a discovery of a betrayal. That's how I'm feeling. The next card that shows up to clarify, and this popped right out, was the Two of Swords, and the swords are upright, and you can see she can very easily see through the veil. She's seeing through the fog, through the confusion, through an illusion. She's seeing through something. She's in there and being at a crossroad. I know I'm saying she because it's showing up in the card, but y'all know there is no gender in tarot. So I feel like these swords are swords of truth that are clearing away the confusion. They're bringing a transformation by illuminating a betrayal, something that was done in the dark. Moon card is at the bottom of the deck, and underneath that moon is the Four of Coins. It's something that was blocking. It was something that was blocking your work, your growth, your expansion. Something was hidden. There was definitely, I have felt this energy like a betrayal, right? Like somebody was intentionally creating this in order to keep somebody stuck and like, and look, another thing, I'm talking about the bookmarks earlier with this energy, and when I look at the bookmarks there, you see someone turning their back on the past and moving towards the future. Same thing with this. You see the world here with the closing out of a cycle and someone with their back turned towards the past and moving towards the future. They're going through a new portal. They're going through this wiser, like they're going to have learned. There's a lot of knowledge, wisdom, and insight that was gained. There's another card about growth, expansion, focus, someone's work. This could have been involving someone's work or what someone did for work, something that they were trying to hide. I feel intuitively somebody knew that there was some sort of interference, there was some sort of block that was in the way from somebody building something, growing something, expanding something. And now what I'm seeing coming through is that block, you being able to see what that block was. The block was a sabotage. The block was a betrayal of some sort. This is being exposed, and it will allow you to take off. Like I said, there's that fire. I mean, this is water energy. This is chariot. This is Cancer energy. Um, that is your energy where you'll be able to finally move forward. And you look at this Six of Swords. I know there's other decks where I can see these swords sticking up in the water and they're blocking this boat's movement forward. Now you can see these swords are being removed. They're on the side of this boat. This boat is able to move forward now. Balance and is being restored through the higher realm. So this is angelic presence and guidance that's showing up to render judgment. This is justice, but bring justice, bring balance to a situation. And there's that hand showing, putting a pentacle, a fresh start, a new beginning, a new opportunity in someone's lap in order to balance the scales. This is the Eight of Cups again, which has already shown up first and foremost. This is somebody who has walked out. They've walked away from whatever these empty cups are. These are shallow energies. These are not emotionally reciprocating energies. These are just emotionally unavailable energies. Just that they're gone. It's gone. So let's keep moving forward. Let's keep moving forward. Let's gain some clarity. Let's get some clarity on the Hermit energy. Let's see. What is this card? What is the Hermit? Clarity on that? Yeah. Huh. Something was trying to restrict somebody, keep them blind to some sort of information. I feel like somebody was tied up, unable to see the way forward. Remember the Two of Swords that are right over here, right? See the Two of Swords that are upright? Look in this specific card here. Let me lift it up because you can't see it. You see those same two swords, but they're down. There was some news information, something um, that it was hidden, it was unknown. Somebody couldn't see it, somebody didn't know it, somebody was blind to it. Whatever that was, um, had them stuck, trapped, bound, unable to see a way forward, something like that. There's the Knight of Wands again. And ooh, see that candle go out? Wow. Okay. There's the Knight of Wands again. I feel for somebody took action really quickly and recklessly, hid some information, some truth, there, whatever that was. Somebody couldn't see it for a very long time. I feel like this new moon in Pluto, I mean, the new moon in Pluto, the new moon in Scorpio with, Pluto bringing this transformation, as well as Mercury retrograde being at the very, very degree of that new moon, is has uncovered some information, and now someone can see through the veil. And I feel like somebody is being liberated through this situation, but this discovery is, this is where they're discovering where what they couldn't see, what they didn't know. This is what I'm feeling. I feel someone took action quite quickly, recklessly, and for not a good reason. And now I feel when this is all exposed or discovered, or this is unfolding, someone's going to take quick action. But I feel like it's in their power, authentically and with integrity, and close out a cycle and move forward from this. There's the Knight of Swords. And I said, when I picked this energy out right there, when this showed up, I said that is the second, other than the Knight of Swords, those are the fastest moving energies. Someone moved quickly, took action, I feel recklessly, with some sort of truth, information that they knew, or something like that. Wow. Um, yeah, they really created a lot of smoke and mirrors, an illusion. It was a distorted energy. Somebody's been operating through a lie, finding success operating through a lie. But now that the lie is getting exposed, I feel like that success goes away tenfold. Which I don't know why I'm going to say this, but I will for whatever reason. And I don't think ever I have felt that energy, but today during meditation, I felt this. Somebody's getting this back a thousandfold. I knew whatever was going back to somebody was going to crush them. Ultimately, because I feel like they intentionally, consistently kept doing that. Right. And so it's coming back. And I did not feel tenfold. Like add some zeros is how I was feeling that energy. Yep. This is something to do with money. Nine of coins. Somebody, oh, whatever this is I'm like I was saying, I feel like something is being discovered. The scales, there's been an injustice and the scales are being balanced. It has something to do with someone's material world and their stability. Like this could have been for some of you where someone kept trying to ruin relationships for you. This could have been where somebody consistently did things that would cause you to lose opportunities when it comes to jobs, careers, promotions, right? This could have been that sort of energy. So you need to take what resonates and release what doesn't. I feel for a very long time somebody couldn't see where this was coming from and what is happening. And just like with that candle, lights out on that situation. That is going to be no longer happening. There is going to be a discovery of how this was happening, what was happening, and that sort of energy. And look what we show up, the Queen of Wands. So this is, and then I'm already seeing the King of Wands out here too, right? So there is this coming together of a masculine and a feminine energy. I'm also feeling that as a way of being balanced within oneself, their true strength. Like I said, I feel like somebody's going to take this emotionally turbulent experience or heartbreak or disappointment or whatever this was, and turn that pain, emotional pain, into power, and they're going to have this new beginning. We see that. I feel like I'm more peaceful. King of Wands, again, there is going to be a movement forward, true leadership here. Somebody really rising above, standing in their power, defending their position, defending themselves, and moving forward. They're closing out a cycle. It's a big cycle. It's a cycle that I feel for a very long time. Either, I don't know if I would necessarily say they refuse to see or recognize or put together, recognize the red flags. But I do feel like at some point they started recognizing there was a betrayal. Like they were, why isn't anything working? Why, this, that, and the third thing. They were starting to question things, look into things, discover things, go within, do some soul searching, do some exploration, and they found some things. They found why this was happening. They recognized it, they see it, it was exposed or it is exposed. The next card that comes out, and these are messages from the self care wisdom cards, these are just um, general, that's weird. General inspirational messages to help you through this energy. So, what if being kind to yourself really could change everything, right? I feel like this is somebody more ready to invest in their own self, like their feelings, their path, their mission, this, that, and the third thing. I don't think they're going to stay stuck and stagnant and caught up in that turbulent emotional feelings of loss, disappointment, letdown, regret. I don't feel like they're willing to do any of that. I feel like they are going to, like I said, allow that pain to, process that pain and turn that pain into power. The next card, you had two come out together, and this is calm. And I feel like that's what they're searching for. This is what they're moving forward to. This is this new beginning. A breakdown is often followed by a breakthrough. Remain calm. And I do feel like something that is meant to break down is going to break down, and allow somebody to transmute, transform that energy for a greater good for themselves. And the second card that came out with that is Rebel. And this card says, it's time to celebrate the fact that you don't fit in. Stand on your own 2 feet. And how interesting it's right there, right? With the Seven of Wands, which we're talking about you standing in your power, rising above, defending yourself. That sort of energy, right? Let's look at energies or messages for the Hermit to the Eight of Swords. Give us energy on this, or inspiration for this Hermit, Eight of Swords. What message for this Hermit and Eight of Swords? Action. Right? Action. This is somebody getting ready to level up. They're walking up a set of stairs. They're going through a new portal. They're going into a whole new life, new beginning. Baby steps are still steps, and they're better than standing still. And I do feel like, I know some of you may look at this like, I kind of feel there's such a shock factor to whatever this is, that it really, takes someone a second to get their mind right, right? I just feel this energy of feeling really distorted in the mind, like so shocked that you're having a hard time processing. Like I said, it just feels like something like that. So be mindful that taking that I did feel that energy of somebody just needing to sit still, be still, right? Like to go within, process, to allow things, their feelings to flow, whatever this is. Um, you know, I feel with all of this. So baby steps are steps, and that can be just self-care, loving yourself, nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself through this transformation. Surrender, I feel, to this transformation. Allow the divine to come through and remove what isn't for you and be able to replace it with what is. That's how I'm feeling with this. The next energy that is showing up is time, and I feel like it is divine timing. This is all about divine timing. This card says time spent worrying is time spent. I feel like, I just feel like I really don't feel worry for somebody, because I feel like, I just feel like this, there's nothing to, the truth is the truth, and you cannot spend I mean, you can, but I don't feel like somebody's going to be spending time worrying about all sorts of different things. I feel like somebody is going to be more mindful of the time, not only the time they spend thinking and dwelling and focusing on something, but also the time that they invest in who they're investing it in, what they're investing it in. I also feel like out of this, when I do feel there's wisdom and knowledge being gained with that Hermit card, I definitely feel someone is going to be more mindful and cautious of connections, people they associate with. I feel like they're going to be no more ignoring red flags, and I feel like they're looking for more quality and less quantity, if that makes sense to anybody. And how interesting. Oops, I don't know if you guys can see it on this, but I'll show it to you here in a second. Um, the bottoms of the deck I leave up, right, when I'm doing these readings so it still plays into the energy. I've been talking about bookmarks, right? King of Fire, King of Fire is bookmarking this. The King of Fire, both upright. This represents loyalty, strength, leadership. This is a fun energy. This is a very loving energy, a generous energy, but they're aligned with loyalty first and foremost. And so I feel there is a major shift taking place and something really good coming through that is going to, like, I feel major life changing. We can see that. We can see there's a really big cycle that is closing out, and it feels like a cycle that was filled with obstacles, challenges, betrayals. That's just how it's showing up. So the next card that comes up, look at this. I cannot make this up. This popped right out. I don't know if you can hear that, but it sure did. There is the release card. Sometimes the best way to grow is to simply let go, and somebody's letting go of all of that. It's done. It's over. It's a wrap in a situation, and they're moving forward, very confidently moving forward, having a lot of strength to move into uncharted territory, I feel, into a new beginning that is more evolved, ascended. Like, I feel like quality life, quality energies surrounding whoever I'm talking to. We're going to pull a couple cards from this is from the Heart Affirmation deck, and these have been so spot on for all the readings I have done so far. So I hope yours comes out just as fitting as everyone else's has. The first card that comes out is I open myself to new experiences and honor my body with love and respect. And I could see that already with your reading, right? We could tap into that. And it's really drawing me to that King of Fire energy, because they are like, if this they are very loving, fun, loving, nurturing kinds of energies with this fire. Um, and open myself to new experiences. This is a new beginning for somebody. Somebody's opening up to the finer things in life, to quality over quantity, to loyalty, to generosity, reciprocating energy. Next card that shows up is my heart resonates with the wonderful beat of the universe. Yeah, somebody wants better out of life and they're not, you know, nobody, I mean, I think some people do. I hate to say it, but I feel like more people than you would imagine, they don't want to be around or connected with energies that are like that are like trying to trip you as you're walking down the road or stab you in the back when, something's taking off or going good for you. It's like nobody wants that. Who willingly signs up for that? I don't know. Anyhow, the next card says, I embrace the love and power of my cherished self. I honor my divinity. Yes, absolutely. Somebody is stepping into their power. They're defending, they're protecting themselves. They're taking actions in regards to all of that. They're having the structure and discipline to be the leader of their own life and not settle for half-assed things, is how I'm feeling with this energy. Just saying. All right, the next card that comes up, I trust my inner guidance. My soul knows the way forward. Yeah, somebody knows. Somebody definitely knows. Like maybe they didn't want to see it, maybe whatever, but I feel like maybe they just didn't know because there was such you know, a way, a distorted something really blocked somebody from seeing something. Something really held. Oh, I got to show you this. I have your last card. Well, so I'm sitting here and I had already showed you the Ten of Swords where there was betrayals, right? Let me show you this. This is the World card, right? And then let's see if you can see it. See the World card? You see the world, there's a cycle closing and a new beginning. This is the Fool right here. This is the new beginning that's happening, right? Look at this Ten of Swords. Look what he's holding, the hat to the Fool. This betrayal was in trying to stop somebody from closing a cycle and entering and embarking on a new beginning. They snatched something, they took something that didn't belong to them in order to try to prevent, to block, to stop this cycle ending, this new beginning happening. They're going to be dealing with some stuff. I like, if I had another deck, I really would go see what's going to go down with them, but I don't have another deck right out here right now. I'm not getting up to get one, but I should have done that. I should have an extra deck. I will for future reference. I see clearly and accurately through divine assistance. And this has been your reading where there has been a discovery, something that got brought to the light, something somebody couldn't see. Whatever this was they couldn't see was keeping them caught up, held back, delayed, obstacles in their path, yada, 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 all that kind of energy. And now it's getting exposed, it's getting discovered, it's being shown, it's being seen in the light, and somebody is liberating themselves and able to move forward without these things blocking their way. They've been blocking through throwing obstacles, challenges, betrayals have all been happening. Like this is somebody who wanted to snatch, betray somebody and snatch their new beginning. This is what happened here. This is bogus. Let me pull one more of these cards and I'm going to close this right out. So let's see. What else do we have? One more message for Cancers. Let's see what we got. I accept vulnerability. It strengthens my love of self. And yes, it is okay, right? Definitely. You are a better person, for allowing yourself to be vulnerable and things like that. It does build strength. I'm not saying it's always fun, but I don't block that part off of yourself, right? Like when you go through these kinds of experiences, a lot of people put up walls, they build barriers, it's hard for them to trust, let people in, and this, that, and the third thing. You don't really want to do that. You really just want to be more mindful, use more discernment, and really, test a person's spirit, so to speak, and align with quality over quantity. And I feel like that's exactly what's going on with you. I hope this serves you well, Cancer. I send you love and light. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It does help this channel, and I appreciate you doing it. Sending you love and light.